Steve, we've been conditioned basically to eat 3 meals a day, most of us. And I know a lot of athletes or bodybuilders will eat 5 meals a day. What's your take on how frequently we should eat?
There is a lot of confusion about this subject, and I get a lot of questions about it. The one thing I've learned above all over all these years I've been dealing with this, and it's already almost 4 decades, is that people have very different needs. We're biologically different people, and some people are fast burners, others are slow burners. That means they burn their calories faster than others. And those who are slower burners definitely don't need to eat as often as the fast burners. But the idea that we should graze, as it's called sometimes, like eating 5, 6 times a day, I think fits best just with the low-fat mania, because if you eat low-fat, you get hungry after a couple of hours. And if you're hungry, obviously, you want to eat. But the kind of food I eat, which is high in fat and moderate in protein, and then also moderate with carbohydrates, it's a kind of food that gives a very strong sense of satiation, and I'm always good for at least 6 hours, if not longer. So my own experience is that I eat roughly twice a day, sometimes a little snack in between, but more than 2 meals I don't need. I always make a point of eating a good breakfast, and if you do that, then already you're going to be cutting out a couple of in-between meals, because you just are set for the day.
Okay, well then what's an ideal or a very good breakfast?
I would say that if for all your meals, but it's especially true for breakfast, is that you should always eat protein and fat together with carbohydrates. Now the reason I say especially breakfast is because every meal should have all 3 of those, but the breakfast is most likely the meal that's a one-sided carbohydrate fare. People taking bread with honey or jam, that's just carbohydrate, eating some of these breakfast cereals that are just really very cheap carbohydrates. And if we eat, for example, an egg for breakfast, I would recommend an organic egg because of the quality there. But an egg for breakfast gives you both fat and protein. So, but if you believe the cholesterol myth, then of course you don't want to have eggs, because a lot of people are afraid of eggs, just like they're afraid of fat. And the truth is that eggs are healthy food. They're very nutrient dense, which is the kind of food that we all need to be healthy. We take foods like beans also, or legumes, which pulses, which are things like beans, chickpeas, lentils. They give the body a good source of protein as well as some carbohydrate, a bit of fat. So I may, for breakfast, eat a bread with something like a hummus chickpea paste on, as an alternative to just having egg or some other kind of protein. So it really is a question of getting good solid food that you can go for several hours on, remembering that for most of us the daytime is our main activity period, and so we want to eat in the morning so that this energy will be available to us during the day. And eating a big meal in the evening really makes no sense, because that's the time the body goes into its more peaceful phase towards the night, and when we go to bed we shouldn't really be in the middle of a big digestion project.